Week here on Good Things with an Ole Miss student who is making some school history. Not to mention he's going to be making some lots of cool videos, now being hired by the NFL. And joining us is Austin Marshall. Hey, Austin.
Hey, how are y'all?
We are doing well. Hey, congrats on landing a pretty stellar job straight out of college.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So is it true that you messaged NFL teams before leaving for spring break?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I stayed up one night till like 2 a.m. just adding everybody on LinkedIn, and I was just copy and pasting the same messages and just sending out the messages to people. I was trying to get a response back.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so we're going to, break the glass here, the fact that you did get hired by the Baltimore Ravens, and that's going to come out in your story. But I need to know, like, before you gear up for spring break and you're copy and pasting all of these responses there from LinkedIn for job interviews or potentials, how many NFL teams did you reach out to, Austin?
All of them.
So how many did you hear back from?
I probably got messages and emails back from like 3 or 4 different teams.
Can you share, other than the Baltimore Ravens, who messaged you back?
I had gotten emails from like the Seahawks and the Vikings and then the other teams were just saying that they're not hiring right now and they will in the future, and that's the only other messages I got back.
Okay, so I have this vision of you, Austin, on spring break in like swim trunks, sunscreen, sipping I don't know how old you are, sipping something cold poolside. We are graduating college, you can do that. And then taking these interview calls with the NFL. Am I, fantasizing that? Were you at home? Were you actually on vacation during spring break when you got your interviews?
I actually was on spring break. I was at the beach, and when I got that first email back about an interview, I was on the beach at the time, and I had to run back to the apartment.
This is such a great story for so many reasons, Austin. Okay, so we're going to back up just a little bit in case people are listening to Good Things. You're not necessarily playing for the Baltimore Ravens, but you're going to be on their video or media staff. And this all started for the fact that you have worked there at Ole Miss as part of the video staff for the last several years. So what even inspired you to get involved with that part of the, game day aspect of Ole Miss sports?
All right, when in high school I was just a little football manager and stuff, and then one of the coaches there was able to get me to go to Northwest, and there I started. I was a manager, and they needed somebody to film and stuff, and I started filming there. And I was trying to be a manager at Ole Miss, but that didn't work out. So, and then somebody told me about a filming job that they were having interviews and stuff, and I think I was like one of the last person to interview. I think it was the last few days they were hiring people. And then I went in and interviewed and talked to Matt Engelbert, that's my boss, and then he ended up hiring me, and I just fell in love with doing it.
Had you ever worked, the equipment required to do that kind of filming for the football games or the practices or whatever, the media request may be?
At Northwest, we had like little bitty handheld cameras and we were recording from on top of towers, and it wasn't that high tech. But when I got to Ole Miss, it was like a big learning curve. So
I guess as long as the red button's on, you're recording, though, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was your normal day at work like there at Ole Miss? Because I think this is an interesting part just of the sports in general, or athletics, the fact that you have all this going on with the athletes and the coaches and the trainers, but yet we wouldn't get to see any of it if it wasn't for the media staff or the video staff that's behind the scenes. So did you do practice? Did you do games? Was it a mixture? What was maybe your role and duty there?
All right, this year we started having practice in the morning, so like we'd get there at like 8 or 9, and then I'd have to record practice every day. And like in that picture, that was the pole camera. That's something we had to start using this year, so I would use that all year. And then during games and stuff, yes, ma'am, I would record, but it was a camera that you would set up on like a tripod and stuff.
What's the most exciting thing that you caught on camera at Ole Miss?
I'm not. I'm not
that you
really
can
sure,
share
honestly.
on air. Let's put it that way.
Honestly, I'm not really even sure. Maybe a touchdown or something in the game. I'm not sure.
Yeah, give you something to sort of ponder as you start to transition to your next job there with the NFL, Baltimore Ravens. What is your actual major, Austin? Because I don't think you went into media or journalism of any type.
No, ma'am, it was computer science.
So do you have a backup plan, or you just think you're going to go straight for with this? The sky is the limit with your videoing skills.
Hopefully that I can continue to do this, but if not, I think I could use my degree. And when I was younger, my dream job, I know it sounds not that good, but I always wanted to work at like AT&T or something with like phones and stuff. And I'm sure with a computer science degree, I could get that. So
I think you should just keep shooting for the stars just a little bit more. I think you've gotten a little bit, beyond that, although that's always a good to have a plan B. But I love this idea that you just had the tenacity and, the drive to just say, screw it, I'm going to see what happens. So who even let you know that there were jobs in the NFL for things that you were doing there at Ole Miss? I mean, you had to have mentors or someone sort of give you the nudge on where to send those resumes or those letters of that you were interested in those jobs. So who sort of mentored you along the way?
Yes, ma'am. My boss, Matt, he's been working with the football video for a long time, and he gave me, he helped me and was telling me about all the people I could reach out to and all that type of stuff.
So when do you report to duty in Baltimore?
I got to leave tomorrow morning at 7.
All right. Well, is this Mississippi boy ready for some winters in Baltimore? I think the summers may be a little bit more pleasant than what you would have here at home, but are you ready for the cold and the ice? Although I guess you kind of got prepared for that back this early 2021.
No, ma'am. I hate the cold, so I don't know if I am ready, but I have no choice.
No,
I got a bubble coat, so.
You're going to be absolutely fine. Do you know maybe what you'll be doing, whether it be practices or also on field? Is there like a training process you'll have to go through or any of that you know yet?
I know I'll be shooting practices and stuff, and I think they got like camps coming up that I'll have to do over the summer and stuff, but I think that's all I know for right now.
Is it true, though, Austin, that you've never seen an NFL game in person?
Oh, I have not.
Man, you have gotten you'll have the best front row seat possible for your first NFL experience. What else are you looking forward to during this sort of transition and this new job opportunity?
Outside of football, I've always wanted to go to Philadelphia and try a real Philly steak and cheese. That is one thing I want to do.
Are you going to climb the stairs and do the whole Rocky thing at the top and take your picture? Because that's like mandatory.
I didn't even think about that, but you said that I have no choice.
Now I'm gonna follow you on social media, and I'm gonna make sure that you do the whole thing, and you have to work off that Philly steak and cheese.
Yes, ma'am.
And completely enjoy your experience there in Baltimore. So I want to round back though to what's your advice to maybe even students or us adults to just hit send, look for the unconventional way of finding job opportunities, and just going for it.
Yes, ma'am. Just say keep working. It might suck right now, because when I was at Northwest, it wasn't like the best. Like you didn't get the most out of it. But because of that, I was able to get to Ole Miss and then able to get this job. So I just say just keep working, no matter if it sucks or not, because it'll lead to other things.
Absolutely, it'll lead to authentic Philly steak and cheese. I just still love the idea, too, though. I'm going back to you're in your swim trunks with sunscreen on your nose, laying out at the beach, getting the Baltimore Ravens, the Seahawks, and everyone else interested in your LinkedIn, emails, and rushing back in, dusting off the sand, and having your very first professional job interview there at the beach.
I was pretty nervous.
Well, it sounds like you nailed it, Austin, and we're super proud for you. And you're welcome back here anytime you come home to visit, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All righty. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We've got more good things for you coming.